Alright, what's up guys? So here she is, the Datsun, still covered up with some stuff, still gotta clean up all this stuff from changing the fuel pump. So I had a thought last night that maybe the fuel pump wasn't running because there is a fuel pump cutoff connected to the airflow meter of the car. The idea being that, when you're cranking the engine, the fuel pump will turn on. But after you're done cranking the engine, the fuel pump will only be on if the airflow meter is open a little bit, meaning that the engine is sucking in air. Otherwise, let's say you stall or God forbid you get into an accident, maybe you get knocked out in the accident, the fuel pump would keep pumping fuel. So I found that, I really hope you can see that. You should be able to see it. I found that if you bridge these two pins, then the fuel pump will be on even when you just have the key in the on position without the engine running, which obviously is not good long term, but might be a part of my my high idle problem, that when I'm starting the engine, the fuel pump is not providing fuel to the engine, so the engine is sucking fuel, therefore not getting quite as much as it should and running lean and getting more air than fuel. So before I do any more tuning with the carbs, I'm going to try that. You guys are going to see it live firsthand. I just did that change last night, but because the car has no exhaust on it yet, I didn't want to start it in the middle of the night. Alright, let's give it a look, see if you guys can see the tack. Turn on that doesn't help at all. Alright, you guys should be able to hear the fuel pump. Okay, so that didn't help my high idle. Let me just make sure that the fuel pump is still running. Sure does. It didn't do anything for my high idle, which is a little bit disappointing, but at least I know that the fuel pump is always running. It definitely ran much worse when I started it up that way. My theory is that, just kind of off the top of my head, it's running worse because there's too much fuel getting into the engine. That's what people mentioned before, is that because I can't run the vacuum advance, and because these like a lot of advanced timing in general, my timing will be too retarded, too far back, and causing it to fire pretty poorly. Luckily for me, that shouldn't be dangerous to the engine, because having a delayed spark is better than having an advanced spark in terms of engine longevity. So for now I can run it like that until I can get it tuned up a little bit better. I might eventually have to get the distributor recurved so that it fits the advanced timing a little bit better. But yeah, so at least now I know that the fuel pump is running. I'm just going to make this one long take for this video. So I have this idea, because obviously just bridging those two pins is not the most safe solution for a car that I do want to drive regularly. I mean, triple Webers on a daily driver is interesting, but it's worth a shot. The idea is that I'm going to see, this is the coolant line that used to run to the cold start valve, which doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to run this coolant line to a pressure switch that hopefully, through the pressure of the coolant, when the engine's running, we'll be able to switch and close the connection, and therefore close this bridge. So I just take these two, create two wires from there, run them to a pressure switch probably mounted around here, and have this coolant line run to the pressure switch as well. And then that way, when the engine's cranking, the engine, the fuel pump will run. But after it starts, the pressure of the coolant from it constantly circulating should keep the engine running.